Oh, I'm not gonna have that. I can hear myself swallow.
What's yours on?
Oh, it's like almost the top. Go
This
full.
one?
Go full.
This one?
Ooh, we are live.
Yeah, okay. Cool bananas. I can't hear myself now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Apex Strengthcast with your hosts, Tyler Seabrook and Anthony Krasner. Today we have Shaun Glover on, longtime friend and guy that trains at our gym. Today we're going to be talking about online coaching, but not so much like what to look for in an online coach. I mean, we can touch on that briefly, but more so what you as an athlete can offer to get the best and most out of the service. A lot of the time you find that people that complain about online coaching, sometimes it is because they have a bad coach. A lot of the time it's because they're not taking steps to improve on it and, you know, get the most out of it. And before I forget, this Strengthcast is brought to you by Apex Strength. Strength training for everyone. I did a front double buy in the mirror this morning. Like, my buys are actually looking real good. Now that I've cut some weight, just so you know. You both needed to know that.
Yeah.
All right, let's just get it out on the table now. Where are you from?
I am, I'm from Tasmania. Yeah.
I'm out.
Just there, mate. I'll just do this by myself.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Yeah, I'm from Tasmania. I
Talk
got
close,
a
brother. Talk close.
got a
Real
comp
close.
coming up in July for GPC. Well, that's the goal anyway. I've been powerlifting for about, let's see, 4 years or so, 4 or 5 years maybe. I've been training for about 10. Just started off bodybuilding, just training for fun really.
Like all of
Never
us.
actually competed, never
So
really
you've-
wanted to compete.
And you've got a
that bad.
sports science degree.
Yep, I just finished my sports science degree at the end of, about 3 weeks ago actually. So yeah, graduation.
Congratulations.
Coming up soon. Yeah, thank you.
Doing your masters.
Masters possibly 1 to 2 years away.
Yep.
I want to get in to do some work first. And
I'm just going to point out real quick, you need to get way closer to that mic, bro. Yeah, there we go.
All right.
Now they can hear you.
Yeah, sweet. That will help.
So this is Josh. Josh. This is Shaun.
Welcome to the junior mentality.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Been doing
At
some
your mic,
powerlifting coaching for a couple of years as well.
Mostly
few
online?
clients. Yeah, online clients. So
I tell you met Anthony, yeah?
yeah, that's actually how I met Anthony, through Powerlifting Australia course, probably 3-4 years ago. I don't know how long have you been coaching Anthony now?
Oh, I've been coaching for a while because I coach in England too.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a while ago. He contacted me with hey, what's up? Like, Wilk said I could do my hours with you to be a coach. Not that you're a PA coach anymore.
No, not anymore.
Just so you don't get like banned without actually being signed up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
like go
yeah,
on my
and that's how we
GPC
met.
comp later this year.
Yeah.
Just jumped on Enova. And Trent. You know, but I can still coach.
Yeah.
The Chad
No,
Leslie Smith method.
clarify, I have not jumped on Edinburgh.
Yeah, no, he hasn't. It's a joke. Not everyone that's in GPC uses drugs.
No, they don't.
That's actually a big misconception. That as soon as someone says GPC, people think drugs.
Drugs.
And you're like, oh no, some people just want to use deadlift bars and squat bars and monos and reps.
And they want to cheat and rap.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
And they don't
wanna
wanna hit
get,
depth.
You know,
Yeah, I want to look like I've got a big squat. You know.
they, you know, they'll do anything they can for a few kilos and then argue that they don't get anything off the deadlift bar. Isn't that right, Shaun?
That's exactly right. Especially when you don't get much off the floor.
At least she trains still with a power bar.
Yeah.
You won't get humbled by it.
Yeah. Every week.
Mm.
Close to
Alright.
the comp, I'll jump on a bendy bar.
Online coaching. I think most people in the industry, whether as a lifter or a coach, or as a coach, has considered the option, especially in the last couple of years, where it's really taken off.
Well, in terms of the way like people are using the internet
And social media.
your social media, like online coaching, it looks like it's going to grow even further. Like
Yeah, and
than what it
you know
was.
what? There's actually, it's becoming more common knowledge that, like, you know, bad coaches get outed very fast now,
Yeah.
or a lot faster. right? Which a few years ago wasn't the case. Like you could get someone just sending the same program, but nobody knew.
Yeah, like there's so much more knowledge out there that the average person can pick up on and, figure out if their coach is right for them, if they're giving bad programs. Yeah.
100%. There's nothing worse than like a cut-paste one.
Yeah,
like, and
exactly.
You're paying $100, $150 a month.
Yeah,
For
especially
the same program 10, 20, 30, 40 other people are doing.
Yeah, especially if your coach is giving you a non-personalized program. He's giving the same sort of program to everyone. That would be a big no-no.
The competition fuels good product or service, because obviously competition
you have
businesses
to give a better service
themselves.
to keep
So
up.
it's that whole thing. When there was one online coach, your options were limited. But now you have all these options on the table. You're like, well, who do I think understands the theory and can apply it through programming?
So today, like we said, we're going to go over more so what you as an athlete can do to get the most out of coaching. So you find a lot. I online coach 16 people now, something like that, 15. A good amount, like a comfortable amount. But a lot of the time what you find, people come to you and they're like, what can you offer me? And that's great. You want to know what your coach can give you. You want to make sure your coach has a proven track record of not just getting really high level people strong, getting average people stronger, right? So don't judge a coach on how many elite athletes he coaches. You're better off judging them or having a look at how many average people they coach that progress, right? When you've got someone working 60 hours a week and they're still making gains, the coach probably knows what he's doing, right? But what you don't see a lot with online coaching is people coming to you and going, what can I do to get the results? So they want to go, what can you do? You go, okay, I can do this. I do video reviews. I'll contact you this many days a week on these days. This is how I program. Here's an idea of how I program. Here's a look at my athletes. And I think that's the end of it. Now, I make sure to really stress to all my guys when they come on, if you don't communicate with me, you're going to get almost nothing out of this, right? You'll probably progress because the programming is good, but the program is not going to be as good as it could be if you were openly communicating with me, letting me know the ins and outs of, your training, and also, uploading videos, form reviews, a lot of that. So a lot of people want to come to me and pay, however much they pay a week, and just think it's a magic bullet. They don't want to then follow up every week or every 2-3 days. So let's, I reckon, segue into just a few things that people can offer, right? As an athlete, not so much like making your coach's life easier or anything, but it does make their life easier, but you'll get a lot more out of it when you're putting in as much as you can. It's not this
help you kind of thing.
It's not this thing where, you contact, so if you're not contacting a coach, something I see a lot, someone's like, I didn't do well with this online coach. And you're like, okay, how many days were you contacting? And they're like, oh, I wasn't. We'd message once a month.
Yeah.
Or I'd tell him when I was injured. Well, you could have done so much more.
Yeah. And maybe the reason why you got injured is because you didn't actually tell him about your fatigue levels, how training's going, if things are feeling heavy, light, stuff like that can just go a long way.
Yeah. So this is why we always push for people to send videos, and usually, some people are really good. They send videos of everything you want to see. They give you different angles, but the reality is that even good lifters fall out of form sometimes, and they need to be held accountable. And so someone getting another perspective and seeing how they're moving is the difference between them getting injured and not in a month's time. Just because they change the form so it stops hurting whatever it was, or they're moving in the right way.
So all three of us do, to some extent, some form of online coaching. What do you look for in an online athlete, guys? What is it that you like? So when someone comes onto you, they contact you, how do you know that they're going to be, one, easier to deal with, but two, they're going to get good results because of what they're putting in? What kind of traits do you like to look for in your online athletes? Because people don't believe it, but I'm picky with who I coach online now. Now that I've got that base amount, if someone comes on and goes, hey, I want to do an 8-week cycle and that's it, I'll be like, sorry, man, I can't help you. Maybe someone else can. Not because I don't want to get you stronger, but because in 8 weeks, you can't learn a lot. I want longer-term commitments, not on a monetary side, but on a results side. I want to actually make someone a better lifter, not just get them stronger. They are different.
Yeah. So definitely the passion is a big one. They're willing to work year-round, not just coming up to a comp. They want to do part of their cycle and then expect you to coach them for the peak kind of.
They just don't want to do an 8-week comp block. They want to do off season.
It's
and want to get better.
Well, we also want to get you stronger in the off season. We want to, pay attention to your tonnages and all that sort of stuff, so we can give you a good peak. If you don't have any logs or anything of your training, it's hard to sort of you're basically just guessing.
Yeah, or if they're not sending you that training.
Yeah.
Like there's two things I stress when someone comes on. It's one, videos, and communication. So like, basically I just tell them, I'm like, look, if you send me videos and give me feedback, then I can help you more. The less you give me, the less I can help you.
Yeah, and man, like you're gonna pay every week on that, but you're not getting as much as you're paying the same amount as everyone else, but you're not getting anywhere near as much out of it.
Yeah.
Like, so then you're gonna feel ripped off too.
Yeah. So the second thing is I stress that they need to do everything that I give them, and don't come up with bullshit excuses and miss all these, exercises or weeks at a time. Because then, obviously, again, they don't perform as good as they could have, and then they look towards, it was the coach's fault. But I'm like, you missed 50% of your, sessions.
And we use a software that tells us.
Yeah. So
like, I can be like, hey man, like, look, of course the weights are moving heavy 3 weeks out. You've missed 30% of your sessions.
Yeah.
Like every session counts. It's not like you missed one. So that's a good one. Is passion, right? You want someone. The other thing is it's very hard to motivate people online. If you're not self-motivated, you're not going to train as hard as, say, if you had an in-person coach there busting your balls.
Yeah.
Now, as an online coach, I can keep you accountable to an extent, but it's so easy just to not open my messages.
Yeah.
It's so easy to be like, coach knows I missed. You got your phone. Coach knows I missed. I'm just not going to open that. I'll talk to him when I need to talk to him in a week.
Yeah.
Right? So that passion, that motivation, that self-drive is massively important, right? Because online coaching, you're probably training in a more generic gym, or you're training in a club, but you're not going to get as much attention from the coaches there because you have an online coach. That's just the reality.
Yeah.
Right? Coaches want to give the most attention to their own athletes. There's nothing wrong with that. But yeah, so you might, if you're not really motivated, you're not really committed to the process, you're going to be like, I don't really feel like doing my pen lay rows today. Or I don't really feel like doing my back off sets on squats. My top set moves so well. I'm doing well. I could take this day off. I could go home and drink some beers or go fishing.
Yeah.
So that self-motivation, self-drive, that passion is really important, and it's actually the number one thing I look for in online lifters. Now, again, starting out as an online coach, you can't be as picky. When you get a bit of a base, you can, right? So if someone's just really, I'm only going to, they only start training half the time in that. Well, one, it's harder to give them attention. But two, they're not going to get results. They're the ones that make you look, and they're the ones that a lot of time will go online and be like, so-and-so did this, I didn't get results, I actually went backwards. Well, no, you didn't do half the shit you told you to do. So that's a really good one, is that self-motivation, that passion, and it's actually the number one thing an online lifter needs.
Yeah, because it's also draining for the coach to also be checking up all the time, like, are you doing this, are you doing that, you missed this session? Oh, okay, well, I can't be accountable for your
performance at the end of the week.
Yeah, 100%, man. And you're having to message someone repeatedly. That's taking time from other people, taking time out of your day. People don't realize as well, online coaches, the majority of them aren't doing that as their main source of income. They've got in-person coaches. They've got a 9-to-5 job. And then you're going to go home and try to get in contact with someone for an hour, a few hours a week. It is tiring, and it makes you give up on people. I'm, more likely someone like that message and be like, hey man, you either have to pick it up or, you're not going to get anything out of this, and let's end. Not in a spiteful way, but I want you to get good results. But you're also at a certain point, if you're not self-motivated, then you're pissing money down the drain. And part of that isn't not everyone's going to be super driven like that.
Yeah.
You just need to be honest with yourself as an athlete and go, hey, I am not suited to online coaching. I would go, how about I drive 10 minutes, 20 minutes down the road and go to an in-person coach?
Yeah.
Right? A lot of the time, that's all it is. It's not actually you're a terrible lifter or anything, but some people respond a lot better to in-person coaching. I'd say for the majority of people, a good in-person coach is better. The issue is if you have access to that, right? But, again, massively good point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's true as well. Is like the difference in online and in person is just that little touch, like things you can't see from videos and things. And that's why we really push to get different angles, so that we can like, help as much as we can.
We'll tell people, hey, next week get this, and this angle. Like,
that's it. I was just saying in regards to like if you're paying money, like do your training. Why are you paying money for online coaching and then doing 50%?
Would you pay for an in-person membership and not go to the gym? Like not go to a powerlifting coach? Another thing I find really important, and you guys will agree straight away, is probably as big as that self-drive, self-motivation is honesty.
Yep.
Right.
100%. There's
no point telling me, it's like now we get videos of everything, but some people are slack with the videos. They could be really good athletes, but they just feel like they don't need to get the videos, or they're not comfortable a lot of the time. So they're training at the local gym. They're not comfortable setting up a tripod, right? Which is fair enough. You can't judge someone like that. You want it, and I tell them all the time, I want videos. But a lot of the time, if they go in at 5 o'clock, it's packed. They're not going to be comfortable getting a video, right?
Yeah. Problem too.
Is honesty. So not only with form, but with how you're feeling. So don't be like, I don't know why I injured myself. Oh, I had pec pain for like 6 weeks, but I didn't tell you about it.
Yeah.
Why can't I bench now? Well, you're an idiot. That's why. Like, that sounds a bit harsh, but it's a reality. You have to be honest. Like, don't lie to yourself and don't lie to your coach. I've had a guy, I don't coach online anymore, and he's like missing squats. And this is like a long time ago, but he's like missing squats. And he's like, it's all going well. His PB only goes up a little bit. It still went up, surprisingly. But I'm like, what do you think we could do better? Like next time, let's go. And he's like, I maybe not miss as many squats. And I'm like, dude, are you serious? Like, you could have told me this 6 weeks ago. If you're even on volume, if you're doing 10s and you're only getting 8, you have to let your coach know that. There's no insignificant thing that like you shouldn't tell your coach. Like, you might think it's insignificant, but it could make a massive difference. Because you think, you miss 2-3 reps a week on a movement, but over 15 weeks, that's 40 squats you've missed.
Yeah. So feedback you get the week before, you can always adjust for the next week coming.
Yeah. And that's why
feedback's so important.
You're not going to judge someone for missing reps. You're just like, okay, maybe you don't have as much tolerance for volume. Maybe you're not as good at, maybe you don't have as much, not as good, I won't say not as good. Maybe you're not as tolerant as hitting higher intensity. Like, if you have a good online coach, they'll cater for that. They don't have a one way to program.
Yeah, everyone's different.
Right? They have training principles they follow, but they'll cater for that. So, if you can't handle the high volume work, that's fine. Let's do higher intensity.
Yeah.
Let's do less frequency. But being honest is massively important.
Yeah, and to touch on like what you said before about being in pain for 6 weeks and not telling your coach. So realistically, you should be able to lift with no pain, especially if you're hitting lower percentages, early in the block. And if there is pain, the best thing you could do is tell us, because then we can adjust movements so you still get the work in while letting something heal. Or just moving in a way where it doesn't grind like your elbows or whatever it is that it's like.
And refer them to someone.
Because sometimes people's knees, when they hurt when they squat, usually their knees are collapsing, right? So it's putting extra pressure on the ligaments in the knee. Well, it's as simple as putting like a band on, for example, when you're squatting, to help fix that problem. So over time, it'll strengthen and keep your knees out.
Yeah.
If you don't say anything, how are we meant to know?
And the other thing is like, and we can refer stuff. So one of my online lifters, she had a shoulder impingement. She let me know straight away. I was like, cool, go see Luke Smith. No more shoulder impingement.
Yeah.
She could we dropped the benching for 2 weeks. And she's benching now again. Yeah. You know what I mean? She had really bad knee pain from lunges because she's had some knee surgeries. Cool. Again, refer to Luke Smith, see what the goal is, make sure there's nothing bad going on there. Cool. Yeah. Well, then we just change the movement for something else. I think we do leg extensions and, more like isolated like quad and hamstring work, which is fine. And she's making leaps and bounds now. She comes in once a week for a one-on-one, which is awesome. But outside of that, like, she's very honest, and she's like, hey, no, this is the issue. Okay, cool, let's address that. Let's find a way around that. And, she gets the results show.
Yeah.
And that's why she's doing so well. Hey, like last week, we'll deadlift. She was like, I felt like a pull in my lower back. Cool, let's cut the deadlifts. We'll do them on a different day. And she did. Everything's fine.
Yeah.
But that honesty and that, like, being like, I think that, again, when you go back to that junior mentality, that young training mentality, I'm just going to push through that. I'm going to be hardcore, push through that.
Yeah.
Well, no, you need to be honest. Because if we can tell you, as well, like, if you explain it right, be like, oh, this is probably a non-issue, let's work around it a bit. Or, hey, no, we need to, like, get you to see someone.
So I had a mate message me about a week ago.
He's like, hey, man, what's up?
Yeah. He just messaged me and he just told me, he's like, he has a really bad shoulder and like a massive weakness in his shoulder. And straight away I was just like, dude, you need to stop training. You need to go see like an osteo or go see somebody about it. Because I was just like, shoulders are a super fickle thing. I'm like, you do not want to train
joint in the body
with a shoulder. Like, not like, obviously it's lost strength for a reason. Could be an injury that he doesn't even know about. Yeah. So I'm like, just go see somebody. Yeah. So it wasn't like, I just push through it, who cares? It's like, there's a difference between like, tendonitis and then, okay, there's an actual real problem here.
Did you find out what the issue was?
Nah, but I'm not sure if he's gone and seen anyone yet about it.
Yeah, and with injuries, it's not like you're going to stop making progress. It's just finding a way to work around. Say, if you're getting shoulder pain at the bottom of the bench press, like sometimes benching from a block can help, like widening the grip can help sometimes.
It goes
anything like that. It's just the feedback helps, so we can find ways around.
You got to get real close, brother. I don't want to keep busting your balls about it. I just, like,
you're too far away from the mic.
I just don't want to have to go through and turn it up manually.
You're saying exactly what
you can hold it if you want. Yeah.
Yeah, you can hold it.
It's all good.
Is it too loud in your ear?
No, it's all good. Yeah. Yeah, what was I saying?
It's going back to what you were saying, well, what I said before about how, all right, there's a problem, we can usually substitute something else so that you can still do the movement and hit the muscle group without the pain.
Yeah, and it's not like you're going to stop making progress. You can work on weaker points of your lifts. Even though it's different, like, who cares? Like,
perfect example, like someone's biceps are hurting or shoulders are hurting, they can switch out to SSBs. They can hit their core more while still getting the leg work in.
Someone always gets bicep pain from low bar squats. They can do a lot of high bar. Isn't that right, Tyler?
Yeah, my favourite.
Your new best friend. Well, your old best friend too.
Yeah.
Honesty is a big one.
Yep. Feedback.
So that's another one. Good communication skills. There's no point if you are going to write to me, workout was good. I'd rather you not write anything. Like, oh, that's great, man. Like, give me some specifics. You don't need to give me an in-depth analysis, but as an athlete, take the time, even during your session. This all sounds like a lot, and it's not. During your session, take a note. On the notes on your phone, on a notepad, be like, squat felt good, felt like I was rounding. Felt like my hips were shooting up. In video, hips shooting up. Something like that, right? But communication is integral, right? And then you can just put all that. You don't need to give an essay. You can be like, squat, dash. Felt strong, think my hips are shooting up on some reps. Okay, cool. Let's have a look at the video. Oh, yeah, now I'm looking out for it. You felt this. There you go. Let's fix that. This is how you can fix that. Let's try this. Or bench was good. Last set, right pec was feeling really tight and inflamed. Yeah, or painful. Cool. All right. Let's have a look. Let's see. Let's move forward with that. But that's really important. Taking notes in. What are you smiling at?
You.
Taking notes during your session, just to update your coach at the end of it, is really important.
Yeah.
And really easy to do, and it'll actually make your life easier and better. Now, any points on that?
Well, yeah, I was just going to say, like, it goes back to, if you say you're having, say, pain in your lower back, well, that means, during squats, for example, it means that we know, okay, I want to see this next time. Because when we look for what usually causes lower back, which is usually, shoulders over the knees and the weight going down the body to the lower back.
And as a coach, you should be asking for specifics, right? You should be like, how did that feel? What about this? I saw this. Did you feel this? Right? Because that's your biggest tool, is communication.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, if a coach is not trying to help you get pain-free movements, then probably should get yourself a new coach.
Yeah. Now, you have anything on that, Shaun?
No.
Okay. I have like a couple more things that I think are really important, and you guys will agree. So I'm kind of leading it on this. I don't know. I think it's because maybe I've coached online for longer, but
yeah, for the longest.
Yeah. Setting realistic expectations. A good online coach is not a replacement, or a great online coach is not a replacement for a great in-person coach, right? That might sound like shooting myself in the foot. I love online coaching. I happily take on some more clients. If you're in Melbourne and you can come in, if you can come into Apex Strength and you're absolute beginner, or you've been training for a few months, don't do online programs. Don't try to source a really good online coach. Go to a good in-person coach. It's going to be a lot better. You're going to progress a lot faster. You're not going to spin your wheels anywhere near as much.
Yeah.
Right. And then later on,
if it is an option. Yeah.
Yeah. And then later on, you can segue into online if you want to work with specific. Say if you wanted to work with Chad Wesley Smith, or if you wanted to work with Shaun, right? Well, once you're at that intermediate level, you've got a bit of body awareness going on. You understand how you respond to things. Go to Shaun with your previous training cycles, and be like, "Hey, this is what I've done. I know what I'm doing." Like, to an extent, you know, if you say your hips are shooting up, you know, come forward through the chest a bit more. If Shaun says that, well, then you're going to know what that means. You're going to know how that feels, and you can pick up. It's a lot easier as a more advanced athlete, intermediate athlete, to correlate what's being said to how it feels. As a beginner, it's not. You could tell a beginner your hips are shooting up. They'll be like, all right, what does that mean? Like, your hips are raising. Oh, okay. You tell them how to fix it. Fixed it. You're like, no, you didn't. Like,
yeah. Like,
but as
a demonstration could go a lot further.
Yeah, and if you tell me, and you know that physical cueing, so touching someone helps a lot. Helps a lot. As a beginner, as an intermediate, be like, cool, yeah, I know how to fix that, or I know how that feels, right? Yeah. But at the beginning, you can't.
There's just so much to. If you're a beginner, there's so much to learn in regards to the form, because it's not like you don't know how to squat to all degrees, where usually an intermediate person has a squat down pack, but just a few things are going wrong. And so it's easier to fix a few things than completely teach a whole form over
and that
messenger.
Body awareness is massive. That's why if you get someone that is an athlete in a different sport, like say Alana was a gymnast, comes in, they respond so much better because they know how things feel. They know how, you know, how to move different parts of their body.
Yeah, I've never been able to teach someone leg drive so fast as Moesha.
Yeah.
Straight away, just like knew. Yep. She's like, oh yeah, I understand that. So many people are like, what, leg drive? How does your legs help you bench?
What do you mean it's a full body movement?
Yeah. You know, usually stunned, where like Moesha straight away was like, oh yeah, I get that.
Yeah. Another thing is respect your coach's personal life. Don't ask your coach super personal questions. It's a professional thing. Now, this is something I've run in with multiple lifters. I'm your coach and we're friendly. I probably like you if I'm coaching you online. I'm not your best friend. Don't send me a 10-page message about having an argument with one of your friends. Don't message me at 1 a.m. This is something I've happened, and Tyler's known, like not just with one person, like multiple. I'll get messages or calls at 2 or 3 in the morning. I would get. Now I've got to really, like, this is the thing. If you do, like, this is not okay. But you used to get messages all hours of the night, calls, random. Like, remember when I was getting calls like 2, 3 in the morning? Yeah. That's not even specifically online. but
you heard him, Sam Hall, cut the shit.
No, Sam Hall doesn't do. Sam Hall's really good and respectful at that because he's a coach.
That's why I knew he could take the joke.
Yeah, well, I don't know if he can, man. Not after I destroy his squat like I do. Anyway, you know, you as an athlete, realize it's very easy to forget that this is the coach's job. This isn't something that they probably love doing, but this isn't something like going fishing on the weekend. I'm using fishing a lot today because I'm going fishing today. But this isn't something like going to the pub with your friends, right? While you probably enjoy the job you do, a lot of people do it. You get those people that are doing it for cash grab. A lot of the time they don't last long. You got to really have a passion for it, and you know, want to improve yourself. But realize this is their job. So if someone comes to you, if you work a 9 to 5, someone comes to you at 8 o'clock at night, what are you going to do? You're going to be like, dude, contact me when I'm at work or during business hours, right? How common is that? Don't contact me outside of business hours. Very common. Same thing goes for a coach. While the hours might be different, it doesn't mean they want it to be their whole life. I don't want to be up at 12 o'clock at night having to respond to these like wild messages. So what I do is I give realistic times. I say, this is when you can contact me. This is how many days you'll get contact from me. If there's an emergency, message me on your on one of these platforms, then I'll respond really quick if it's an emergency, but respect that. That doesn't mean if you're feeling a little bit tired, message me at 1 a.m. before you do your session. That means write that in the comments. Maybe that affected performance a little bit. Now, if you feel like you're going to tear your hemi, really bad pec pain, message me. I'm going to help you in real time, right? Outside of that, respect the coach's job and respect that it is a job, right? And have that expectation. Don't get upset at your coach for not replying to every message straight away, especially if they've set that precedent. Like, maybe it's not something you guys have run into yet.
Oh, it definitely,
I don't live on my phone.
If someone got annoyed at me, I haven't had someone
that
actually
big?
get annoyed because I messaged them straight away because,
You have?
I haven't had anyone get annoyed from it. So if someone did get annoyed from it, I'd be like, look, that's,
Unreasonable.
this is unreasonable. You're being unreasonable. Everyone's been reasonable on my end of coaching.
You're lucky,
online.
man.
Yeah.
That's the thing, though, is that people forget that this is your job. And while you love your job, doesn't mean you want to do it 24 hours a day. Or don't question that I was playing Age of Empires at 10 o'clock at night with my boys and didn't reply to your message because it's 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
I'm unwinding. You know what I mean?
Life's about balance. It's like
and that's the thing,
coaching.
but it's
and
very
lifting,
easy
everything.
as an athlete, and this isn't a dig at anyone specific, but it's very easy as an athlete to forget that because you want that feedback when you're doing it. You want it now. I need this now. Well, contact them during their chosen time.
Yeah, or do one-on-ones if you want.
Yeah,
that
or
kind
do
of
one-on-ones.
level
It's
of,
so simple. If
coaching.
you want their full attention for a period of time, do a one-on-one.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's a really big one. And that the more you coach, you run into that more. The more online lifters you get. It's just like, hey, you gotta pull them up. Third, and again, any points on that?
No, I haven't really run into people messaging me at 1 a.m.
Except me.
Yeah. Asking me how the squats looked today. Good, man. Good. As always.
Feeling attacked.
Going to bed now.
You're not in bed at 1 o'clock. Let's be for real. That is your awake hours.
Yeah. It is. Sometimes.
Again, so that's something you can manage as an athlete, those expectations, and realize that if you want that contact them during those hours. Because a good coach will say, if you need it, these are the hours you can contact me. Another one is, I had one. I had a good one.
It's gone.
It's gone. Gone with the wind.
The most important point of the podcast is just blown away.
Well, do you have any pointers, Shaun, in regards to programming online? Any personal experiences?
Make sure you pay your coach on time.
Pay your coach. And no, pay your coach.
Not even on time, just pay them.
Yeah, that's true.
Too many
That's an
people
idea.
I've heard of.
Who would have thought of that?
Hey, bro,
your
a lot of
coach.
people don't. I just had that guy recently, man. He paid once for a month. I coached him for 3. So we got him on direct debit, but it skipped, and I obviously swiped the notification, which was my bad. But then he did another full month. He would have got the notification because it sends a change your account link, right? And then he did a full month, another month, so he got 2 months free. And then I realized, and the guy ghosted me. And another one again goes, "Hey man, I need to pay you." This guy was overseas. And he was like, "I need to pay you, but I don't have the money right now." And I was like, "All right, let's push it back." He goes, "I'll pay you in 2 weeks." And then 2 weeks comes, "I'll pay you at the end of the month." Okay, got 6 weeks of free coaching, 8 weeks of free coaching, which is my bad. Which is now I'm very unforgiving with that stuff.
Yeah.
And he was like, now, and then he was like, "Oh yeah, I can't pay you," but he had done all the training up to this point. I'm like, "Cool. How about you just pay me the money you owe me? Pay me half. Just pay me something for the work I've done." And he didn't. And he ghosted me, unfollowed me on everything because apparently he didn't have the money. Well, if you don't have the money, don't get a coach.
So this is a good point that people should be wary of if you're doing online coaching. When someone doesn't know you, you've never met them in your life, they are more likely to just easily ghost you or not
So
pay
that's
you.
a tip to the coaches.
So to the coaches, you got to make sure that, especially for people who don't know you, different overseas or different state, is they take advantage of coaches. And they do that like what they've done.
Yeah, and now they've someone might now. You got those athletes you've had for a while, man. and we've had it in the gym. If someone comes up, I'm having a rough time, this and this came up, I can't pay right now. Okay.
Yeah.
You've been a loyal athlete. I've coached you for 8 months, 10 months, 12 months. You've never missed a payment. Man, not even, a lot of the time it's like, look, don't even worry. Let's just do a month for free.
Yeah.
Like let's do 5-6 weeks for free. Like, you know, you will get that as an athlete. If you give that respect to your coach, a lot of the time you'll get that back, right? If you've been a loyal, man, don't expect that after 4 weeks of training, hey man, I can't pay you 4 weeks in, 3 weeks in. You're like, that's not a good precedent.
Yeah.
But if you've been a loyal athlete, you're going to get loyalty back, you know, and respect back. If you've been respectful, you get respect back. And it's happened in the gym. It's happened online.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, man, like, let me out here. Like,
Yeah,
I want to keep
see
you
get
on.
results.
Yeah, exactly.
We
Like,
don't want to just be like cut you off because you can't afford it for 6 weeks, and then, you know, you do your own thing, you get hurt, or you know, you don't PB because you've gone sort of away from what you need to be doing at the time.
Yeah.
So
100%.
It's like pro bono, but for the strength industry.
What's pro bono mean?
It's like a free like consulting, basically.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the thing. So you'll get that respect, that loyalty back. But make sure you're paying on time. The other thing is people in the industry talk. So if you screw me over and I see you going to go to another, so someone screwed me over, just say we weren't like all good mates, and then but I knew you, right, or I knew of you on Instagram, and then they went to one of you two, and I'm like, he advertises or you advertise that you got this new client. I'll be like, hey, this is what happened with this client. Be careful. It gets around. As much
as it should.
And as much as powerlifting seems like a massive sport, it's very niche. Everyone's interconnected. They're waiting outside.
Yes. Well, so your first competition, which one is it?
Aiming for July GPC. It's around the end of the month. I think it's 19th or 20th.
Yeah, just in local Melbourne comp, yeah?
Yeah, local Melbourne.
Oh yeah.
Wraps for the first time.
Yep.
Did my first wrap squat last week. It was interesting. Definitely feels good, and it's going to be good in the long run. But yeah, there's a lot of a mental aspect that I and just get used to some heavy weight again before it probably starts to feel natural.
What's the biggest difference you found? Because I know you've done 2 wrap sessions now. What's been the biggest difference to sleeves for you?
Biggest difference, unracking the bar, walking out with more stiff knees is interesting.
Do you hit the hole a bit more aggressively?
It's something I haven't incorporated yet because I'm trying to get through that barrier of learning how to use the wraps. So I don't want to squat quickly into it.
Yeah.
It's more like a eccentric control, couple of seconds, and come out of the hole quickly kind of thing. Yeah, it's just a lot more pressure around your knees.
You've done a lot better than I did with wraps the first time. I've been wrapped once, and I stood up and I was like, take him off, take it. And then Will came in here, got wrapped once, and fell forward with 60 kilos. So you've done really well.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll definitely have you on again once you've competed as well.
Yeah,
so we can
it'll be good.
go over like how your comp went and how like you've progressed with, you know, wraps and using
yeah.
a deadlift bar and all the differences, you know, in that federation compared
Shaun,
to PA.
while he might not have competed yet, you know, he does some coaching around the gym for us. He's a really good coach. He's a good lifter. But, you know, his programming's solid. So if you need to break into online coaching with someone, you know, and, well, Shaun's a good online coach. Contact him.
Follow
I know
him.
you've got, like, 4 guys, right?
Yeah.
4 guys, and they're all doing really well.
Yeah.
That's the thing. He's got a proven track record of results already, and, you know, I'd trust him to do my programming.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
No worries, man.
And find him at Shaun.Glover on Instagram.
Yeah.
Yep. That's
Shaun.Glover7, isn't it?
Oh, Shaun.Glover7.
Yeah. Shaun.Glover.7?
No, just
Now we've screwed it up.
Glover7.
Awesome. Thanks for coming on, bro.
Yeah,
Thanks
no
for listening.
problem.
Oh, just quickly, we had a comment today. I don't have his name on here, but it made us feel really good. This is fame. I'm actually about to go buy like a Maserati. As someone commented on the last episode, thanks for the advice. Listening from Hong Kong, loving every single episode. How cute. Thank you. That's leave comments for us. It made us feel really good. And we'll read them out on stream. And then,
or ask questions.
Yeah, or ask questions. But
Yeah.
also, you blow smoke up our ass. And we'll read them on stream and we'll go over. Leave some funny ones.
Yeah, drug accusations, we'll take them all.
Hey. I get enough of those in my Instagram DMs. Peace.
Thank you, everybody.
Good talking to you guys.
What's going on?